Building a Better Budget seminar sponsored by the IBM Southeast Employees Federal Credit Union. This is section 4 of the Building a Better Budget seminar. Budget busters and resources. So now we've gotten to the point where we've talked about our budget, we've talked about reasons to budget, talked about obstacles, and now the action items. What are the items that you actually are going to put forward outside of your budget to make sure that you stick to it? Well, one of the easiest ways to make sure that you stick to a budget can be to increase your income. And along these lines, I've got some pointers for you. Some of these may not be fun, but if your goal is to balance your budget and to stick to it, you may be able to employ these for short periods of time. These don't have to be permanent, but they can all basically help you stick to your budget and meet your financial goals in the short term. One of the items in particular there may be opportunities for you to work a little bit of overtime once in a while. That's obviously going to help increase your income. There may be opportunities for you or someone in your household to pick up a part-time job. A lot of times we have family members moving into our households, and or maybe we've been supporting students that may have an opportunity to actually contribute to household expenses as well, and their income is going to help improve the budget. You may also have thought of being able to advance yourself at your current position with your employer. And one of the ways that you can do this is to take advantage of getting some additional training that either your employer offers or some arrangements that they may have to help get you discounted training. Another item that you may look at is most of us have items in our house that we're not using, that we're simply just storing. Maybe a great time for you to get a garage sale going. And you can actually use the money that you get from this garage sale to do a series of things, just like you can with all the other sources of income. Build a savings account, pay down debt, or build an emergency account. You just want to make sure there's a tendency when you do have a garage sale that this is extra money, and you may think it's good to go on a spending spree. But if you keep in mind, you can use it to build a savings, pay down debt, or build an emergency account. It'll help you stick to your budget. The next action item list has to do with decreasing spending. So what are some of the ways that you can decrease spending? A lot of people have landlines that they are really not using all the benefits that they're paying for on that landline. Most of us today have a computer at home that accesses this landline, but we're really not using the phone line to actually make outbound calls because mobile technology has gotten so affordable nowadays. So in the event you find that you're able to actually cut down on some of the services that you have on your landline, you may be able to save an additional $30, $40 a month simply by making some changes to your existing plan, getting rid of things such as long-distance phone calls, that a lot of times we're using our cell phones to make those sort of calls anyway. Sometimes we're paying for additional things that we don't need to. Also on your cell phones, you may look at what the family plan actually incorporates, or even maybe some of the plans that your family members have, some of the features that they have that they're not using. Items such as text messaging, picture sharing, mobile internet. All of those things are items that are going to increase your cell phone bill, but not a lot of people may be using those in your household. See what it may be to actually go ahead and either eliminate those or simply just keep them on the lines that actually use those services. Also, look at what you're spending dining out. A lot of times if you're buying food and cooking it at home, it's not only more healthy, but you're also going to have more left over than you would if you have that same meal out at a restaurant. When you have more food left over, it gives you more opportunities to maybe go ahead and take that extra food for lunch, or maybe to have it again later on in the week. You may look at the amount that you're spending on signature coffees. A lot of us like these coffees that have caramel and have chocolate in them and everything, and we're willing to pay $5, $6 a cup just for this coffee. A lot of times we can make that same or a similar substitute at home and save money in the long run as well. So those are some items that we would recommend you looking at within your own household. You may also go ahead and open this up to your family and see what are some of the items that they feel that they can decrease their spending on, because again, this needs to be a family effort. Last but not least, you need to certainly establish a savings account. And so doing this is something that the credit union has expertise in. We can help you understand what is the best financial product for you to have at our credit union that's going to earn you the highest interest. But in addition, you also need to consult with your HR department. Make sure that you're maximizing your retirement options through the benefits that they provide. Some of the other items that you may look at that are going to detract you from sticking to your budget are what we refer to as budget busters. And the biggest budget buster is actually debt. Debt is mostly incurred by carrying balances on credit cards. Whenever we're doing that, we're spending too much. So we encourage you as a consumer to spend only what you can pay off on a monthly basis. That helps you avoid finance charges as well as over-the-limit fees. In the event that you are interested in closing out accounts that perhaps you're not using, you can go ahead and turn to page 32 for an example of a letter that we recommend you use. In the event, let's say you want to close out your credit card and you call the company, they're going to try to get you to keep the credit card. If that's not your original goal and your goal is to close it out, it makes much more sense for you to complete the letter, because in the event you've completed the letter and you mail it in, you're not going to have to talk to anyone about keeping that credit card account. They simply have to follow your instructions. It's always important that you keep copies of any letters or any correspondence that you have with the credit card company when it comes to writing them about your account. You also may be able to seek lower interest rates with the credit cards that you're deciding to keep. So you can simply do this by contacting the credit card company. Again, the same company, the same group that's going to try to get you to keep the credit card is the same group that normally has the power to go ahead and reduce your finance charges going forward, reduce your interest rate that's being charged on that card. And what's the worst they can say? No. In the event you're seeking a low interest rate credit card, we encourage you to look at the credit union's credit card, where our interest rates are as low as 7.9% and our rates are fixed. This helps you have better control on your interest rates. In the back of your presentation packets, you will see a slide 31. This will help you compare the credit cards that you're planning to keep and look at the different features to make sure that that credit card is going to work for you long term. I've taken the liberty of going ahead and completing what the credit card features are of the IBM credit card so that you have a good foundation to go ahead and start from. In the event you do have credit card balances, one of the things you may look at doing is incorporating those into a home equity loan. It's very important to look at this as an option because the interest on home equity loans is tax deductible. Normally as well, what we find is your monthly payment on a home equity loan ends up being less than what it traditionally is if you looked at what you were paying each one of your credit card companies individually. Normally the rates are also lower on home equity loans, and since it's a secured loan against your home, it can have positive impacts on your credit score. So even if you are going ahead and looking at maybe closing out some of those credit cards, we do encourage you to keep one credit card because you're probably going to need it for some of those airline reservations, maybe those sort of things where they actually do require a credit card. Even a lot of car rental companies are requiring a credit card for reservations. So you always want to keep one good credit card. And that comparison chart on page 31 will help you choose the best credit card for you. The next budget buster has to do with spending. We talked in the earlier sections about the needs versus wants test, and if you are spending too much, you may not be assessing this test properly. Needs versus wants test is simply, do I need it now, or is it something that I need later? Is it something that I really want? What would happen if I don't have it? What this process is meant to do is help you understand that an item that you may see as a short-term goal, something like perhaps a vacation that you're planning for a year, may have to take a back seat, and you may have to make that an intermediate goal, something that's going to last in between 1 and 3 years in order to help you stick to your budget. Very important to realize that sometimes that financial goals chart you may have to do some adjusting on after you've gotten to the end of your budget process. What's most important is you don't want to be putting extra spending on credit cards, because we've already demonstrated what the impact of that is going forward. The most important part of your budget is to actually stay motivated. One of the things we highly recommend is visualizing your success throughout the budget process. So some of your goals may be things such as we would like to take a family vacation at some point, or maybe you're saving up for your daughter's or son's college, or maybe it's a wedding that you have in the future. It's very important for you to maybe get images of what it is that you're saving up for and keep those at your desk. Keep them maybe on your screensaver, keep them on your computer desktop so that you can keep focus on what it is that maybe you're working those additional hours for or that overtime for. It's also very important for you to stay organized. If you don't stay organized, you may end up finding that you are paying bills late. When you pay your bills late, you end up with finance charges and late fees, and these can also decrease your motivation going forward because you're going to have to reallocate your expenses to accommodate for these fees. The next item we recommend is being realistic, and we've talked about that in section 1 of the Build a Better Budget seminar. But it's very important for you to realize that you may have to make tough decisions during this process, and your family may have to make tough decisions as well. It's important that you monitor your progress going forward. We encourage you to do this simply just by keeping, most families have a family calendar. And so if your goal is to, let's say, save for that vacation or that wedding, track what amount you're putting away each month and have that amount listed on your calendar so that you understand and that everyone can see how much money is being saved up. Also, it's not uncommon for people to experience setbacks based on perhaps an item that they have failed to include in their expenses or simply an unforeseen circumstance. Simply experience the setback and get over it. Move on. That is the most healthy way to experience any sort of setback, and it will help you, again, stay focused on what is your true goal, which is adhering to your budget. It's also important that you reward yourself along the way. Now, we're not giving you the okay to go on a shopping spree here. It's more along the way of giving yourself a pat on the back, maybe sharing your experiences with family and friends. A lot of times people in our own communities are looking for some ideas or different tactics that maybe they haven't tried. And so some of the things that you've done to either increase your income or decrease your expenses, maybe just that one thing that gives that neighbor or that family member what they need in order to kind of make ends meet or adhere to their budget as well. And you guys can share those experiences and the positive ramifications that you're seeing come out of them. Now, in the event that you're having a hard time staying motivated, or maybe you have something that's different in your budget. Maybe you have something different in your household that we didn't cover today. I want to give you a resource that we have for you as a credit union member. All members of the credit union are eligible for our Balanced Financial Fitness program. To be a member of the credit union only requires a $5 savings account. Once you've established that account, you are eligible to take advantage of our program, which is basically a free counseling service for you as a member. It's confidential. No one at your employer knows that you've called. No one at the credit union even knows that you've called. But we feel that it's so important to help our members get the education that they need in order to get back on track, or help them understand things that are unique to their own situation, that we will actually pay for any service related to the Balanced Financial Fitness program for our members. They can help you set up your budget that we've gone over today. They can also help you in the event that you are looking to save for a house and you're kind of concerned about how much you need to have put away or what the process is about going around buying a home. You may even find that you are in an environment where your minimum monthly payments are the most that you can afford on your credit cards. And at the end of the month, you're not seeing that balance go down whatsoever. Balanced Financial Fitness has a debt repayment plan that they may find you qualify for. With the debt repayment plan, it involves you making one affordable monthly payment to the Balanced Financial Fitness program. They will then distribute that payment between each one of your creditors and help you get all of your creditors paid off within a normal, reasonable amount of time. I'm sure you've heard of programs that offer the same sort of service, and they charge a fee. Well, our program charges a fee as well, but as a credit union member, we will actually pick it up on your behalf. That helps you pay down your balance quicker, and it helps us demonstrate that we're really concerned about our members and helping them get back on track. So what are you going to do now? You have a lot of decisions that you have to make. You've got 4 homework assignments that we've given you. Just to review those again, the first one involves establishing your goals and prioritizing them. The second homework assignment involves tracking your expenditures. The third has to do with analyzing your income. And the fourth has to do with prioritizing your expenditures according to your goals. The key to success is starting today. If you wait and put off your budget planning process until later on in the future, it's just that much more time you're going to have to wait until you have your financial freedom. In the event that you are interested in finding out anything more about our credit union, please visit us on the web at www.ibmsecu.org or via our 800 number, toll-free 800-873-5100. We appreciate your attendance in our Building a Better Budget seminar, and we're looking forward to establishing a financial relationship with you as a member.